I think it's time. So we got my man Rainwater on the scene right now. Let's bring up Rainwater's camera.
Welcome to WRP. Start when you're ready.
Can I get 2 ham sliders?
So unfortunately, we actually discontinued our ham.
Okay. Can I do the 2 for $6 beef and cheddars then?
Of course.
And I get a free mozzarella sticks for mentioning Detroit Love?
Sorry, say that again?
Never mind. Ice water?
That was Rainwater. I think he's back in the studio now. Let's bring up Rainwater. Rainwater, what's up, man?
You lied to me, Nick.
I'm sorry.
You're like, just go to Arby's. Tell them, just mention Detroit Love. You'll get a free mozzarella sticks. I'm like, sweet.
Maybe
they didn't know what I was talking about.
Maybe that's a regional thing. Maybe you have to be in Detroit.
In Detroit. Okay, my bad. Up here, they don't know what I'm talking about. Ugh. It was good though.
I asked Maddads to see if he was able to get the promotion. Let's see if he can tell me. Was you able to get the promo?
Yeah, because I guess it's brothers. I don't know.
It might be.
I don't know. I ended up getting it.
So really get a good deal for that.
I was just like, hey, what's up? I mentioned it, and next thing you know, he was like, all right, got your free. They even threw in an extra pack for me. So I'm just saying. I could have gave you one, Rain. My bad, man.
What?
My bad.
Listen, you should have did it. So
yeah,
we have awesome. We have an awesome show today. We got a couple of people here. We got a dude that I love watching his channel, and he has a lot of great content. We got Pat from Show Me Retro.
Ooh, big time.
Guys.
What's going on, man?
Big time. Go, stop.
Yeah. You have to sign speak to your agent and all that to get you on. So we appreciate you.
Oh my God. Come on.
We've only got him for 90
What's
minutes.
up, everybody?
The contract.
Please.
We had to sign a rider and everything. We had to get him
I
You
took
guys
a
will be
payday
nasty.
loan
Only
out
the
for
yellow
this.
Oh, you'll be past me in a month. All of y'all. Well, and Mad Dad's already, I'm sure.
Oh man.
So, it's a community show. So
Here to help,
get
man.
a member of
Here
the
to help.
community
Here to
as
help.
well.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got my man Adam 12. What up, Adam?
Woo!
How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Listen.
Right on. Welcome.
Let's start the show with this. I put in a poll earlier. It wasn't a lot of activity in there, so I want to hear the chat talk about it right now. I don't know if you've seen it, but the talk of the town is right now Masters of the Universe, the new iteration of the He-Man, and I'm going to throw it off. I'm going to start it off with this. I love the show. I wasn't really big on the original when it originally aired, but I love how they modernize it. Things don't age very well, and this one, it's become modern. It was cool. I love the animation style, and I love the tone of it. It was very, I think, adult-like. So, I don't know if your kids might like it so much, but I definitely loved it.
Well, word is there's another cartoon coming soon that's going to be very squarely aimed at kids. So if this isn't your cup of tea, hang on 5 minutes. There's another one coming down the road.
How about you, man, Mad Dads? How did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good, man. Just the style, how they kind of made, how normally, when he holds it up and everything. After that, it's the way they had it, like the way they laid it out. I thought it was pretty good because the way they laid it out, it took a little longer for him to get everything on, but. You know what I mean? They're trying to get that minutes in. They got to get the minutes in. That's how you
I
do
gotta
it.
see this now. I gotta see. I was never a fan of the show real bad when in the 80s, but I had all the toys. Right. So I remember
Interesting.
playing with the toys, but
Oh,
I didn't
man.
really watch the show.
I was the other way around. The show was always on in my house. I wasn't necessarily a super fan, but my sister, and it was the only thing on TV at the time during the week. So it was on all the time. I saw it all the time. But
I remember the
never
live
bought
action movie. Do you remember
I
that?
saw the movie too, but I never
was
had the
good.
toys. All of my friends did. Everyone around
Yeah.
me was super into it. I was just more like casually observing it. Like Nick, I really enjoyed it. Matter of fact, I ended up watching it 3 times over the weekend, and really was overall very impressed. And I have all sorts of thoughts on where this thing is going, but I don't want to spoil for those who haven't seen the show yet, because I have spoilers that I think are coming in a big, big way. So, but really, I thought it was well worth the time. I thought they all parties involved did a good job.
Do you think it's targeted for like, 30 and 40-year-olds that watched this?
I think it's targeted at selling as many action figures as humanly possible. Very much like the original show. Seriously,
Really?
man. All
Interesting.
Mattel cares about is reinvigorating the brand and bringing in that toy money. And they are losing the license. They technically sold off their rights to Masters of the Universe back in the 90s when the franchise was dead, I believe. I may have my, but I think it was the 90s. So their license runs out like in 2 or 3 more years. So TikTok, they want to sell some toys.
How many did you buy?
I have all of the Wave 1 stuff on pre-order. I haven't been. I'm still in pandemic. I'm still in pandemic hiding mode myself, so I won't go to the local Target or Walmart. I'm waiting till they can be delivered to my house by my favorite online retailer. But I'll get them all. I'm buying them all. I enjoyed it that much.
I have to say one thing. It's probably the who stole the show for me is Mark Hamill and his iteration of
the whole voice cast is phenomenal. And if you go back and rewatch, listen to the performances. There's some really good. Tony Todd as Candyman is just Candyman, Scareglow, but he sounded like Candyman. Was fantastic. That was Tony Todd. That was the voice actor of Candyman. That's why he was all fear and, because he was leaning into his horror movie roots. So I agree. Mark Hamill really, really brought that home in a big way. And Lena Headey as Evil Lynn brought some depth to that one-dimensional character. I was really surprised by that.
So, Pat, did you watch it or what's your thoughts?
I have not yet. I just got done with Fear Street, so I haven't watched it yet.
That's on my queue.
Spoilers.
Fair Street is coming my way real soon. That's kind of next.
Fair Street is good.
Chat, let me know if you like He-Man or not. Give me a 1 for like. Well, matter of fact, I forgot.
You know how to do this poll?
How do you do that?
Can you do that
I got that.
here?
You got
he got the skill over there.
You have to do it in YouTube Studio.
Oh, so for each of our own channel, I'm going to poll the 3 people that are watching my channel. And one of them, spoiler, is me.
I'm going to ask again. So Brad
seems pretty down on it. Yeah,
I think Dawn is watching on mine.
Yeah, just do the 1 and stuff. You know how it goes.
So let's get some votes in. Let's see what's going on there. I really want to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay, how do I pull this? Let's see. Oh,
so while that's going, we're gonna get into the meat of the show. Let's talk about it. Let's see here. We pay so much money for this. I got to make sure I use this, or our accountant will get upset.
I had a guy in Pakistan that spent minutes making these transitions.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Some news hit a couple of hours ago. My man John over there in iiRcade brought us Space Invaders, right?
Oh, that's
to the
no kidding.
Top 50 game. Some people may say like it didn't age very well, but we got to know that it is the granddaddy of the video games.
The original one. To be clear, we're already going to be getting the Infinity Gene. Mm-hmm. And then now they announced the original Space Invaders that's going to be coming as well. So we'll have both on.
If I was thinking if we were thinking real hard about that, we should have figured classic Space Invaders was coming when they announced Infinity Gene, which, by the way, I played on my phone for years. It's a great game. It's a really good game.
It's a smart move because the people who's buying the new one is probably gonna buy the classic, so you're getting you're double dipping there. It's a classic game. It's probably doesn't cost a lot in terms of licensing.
No, I'm sure.
But you're gonna get probably a lot of the retro gamers on there, and the kids don't mind it. It's okay.
And it's another great license to add to the portfolio. That when you go and knock on someone else's door, hey, we've got. Forgive me, is it Taito or Namco that does Space Invaders?
Taito.
Really?
You're right. I should know that with all the hype around the ALP right now. I'm sure they've got more stuff coming from.
Yeah, that's what I said. As long as we buy them, then they will have more stuff coming.
It's gonna open the door. Yeah.
Zohan's got it up on his marquee. Pat's got it up on his marquee. Man, you guys got Space Invaders all over the place already. I bought a Space Invaders game today.
It is a fantastic pinball table, by the way. On the ALP, that is a fantastic table.
This is the Space Invaders game that I bought today.
I honestly would love to try that. That looks
a war
interesting.
game.
Yeah, I know. How does that work?
Is that new or old?
This is a new one. I just got it at Target today. Okay, so check this. It's really
nerds. Yes, we're all gathered here to talk about home arcades. Of course, we're nerds. Come on,
it's a retro. Come on. This is it's like a it's a dexterity game, which is not usually my thing, but I thought I'd try this one out. It's a cooperative, 1 to 4 players.
Nice.
I guess you're like
a quarter shortage in Japan. When the game came out, there was a quarter shortage in Japan. That just shows you how popular this game was.
Man, just the graphics alone, though. You know what I mean?
Pat and I are of the age when we remember when this was new and the big deal.
Yeah.
Listen, we would be foolish to say that it didn't pave the ways for video games.
It was a huge deal.
But I will say, I have to be honest, it did not age well.
I was never good at the game. I've never loved the game myself. It was always a quarter eater for me.
Yeah.
But it was like, I grew up in Hawaii. During the 70s and into the 80s, from like 77 to 86. So I was there during the boom explosion of the arcade scene, where there was a nice large arcade almost on every other block in Waikiki. So we were in arcades all the time. So it was, you could go to the local food market. They called it the food pantry in Waikiki. And when you walked in was rows of arcade machines and then some of the, nickel penny candy machines. And it was always Space Invaders, Pac-Man, and then they would rotate in 1 or 2 other things. But Space Invaders and a variation of Pac-Man were always there in the local supermarket. And it's a big deal, and I think it pretends more to, for those of you who own one, I haven't pulled the trigger just yet, but it's kind of like I'm watching them and I'm just kind of waiting for there to be the games I want to buy, and then I'll jump in. But this portends good things for those who are bought into the system and want more.
I think it was like one of the best looking cabinets, to tell you the truth, that they came out with. I mean, just the graphics alone.
Clean, simple, but nice, well designed.
That's why arcade one up one is even pretty. Yeah.
No, that's the reason why I bought the arcade one up, because the artwork is.
Oh, you bought it?
I have it. It's in my closet. I don't play it. No, I'm so
I want to look at it. It's so beautiful. Put it in the closet.
Well, I needed the space. I'm limited in space, so I'd rather have something that I'm actually gonna play. I'm sorry. It didn't age well for me, but I'm more excited about the relationships that it's building.
Exactly.
For iiRcade. You have to understand that this is going to probably get some other people to purchase it. Definitely going to purchase the actual game and maybe move some units, and kind of, you see his argument was
it's supposed to
people
be
are saying that they're not getting AAA titles. That's a AAA title.
It's supposed to be leaderboards on that, ain't it?
It should
so, I mean, that'll make you kind of like
the new one is
play it a little bit. Yeah, the new one.
Did they say they're going to put leaderboards on
that question was an actual. I
don't think so.
That's a type of title that would do well.
You would need one.
I hope they do.
This is where this is kind of the path that I want iiRcade to go down, because me and Gene are kind of similar in this. This unit has so much power. It should really lean towards more of the modern gaming. So I'm gonna play a trailer of a game that it's not a actual arcade game, but it still is pretty badass. So
all right, let's check
I want to hear what you guys say. I didn't let you guys know what it was because I wanted to get your honest opinion and feedback to it.
Please be honest with us. Thank you.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice. Listen, it's a Android or iOS game, but the beautiful thing about iiRcade, they could handle Android ports and they could really rework it. I would love for them to make a version for the consoles and maybe make it a little better. But for what it's worth, I think it's pretty cool, and it kind of brings you that nostalgia of the old Contra title. What do you guys think of it?
I'm just hoping the code works.
That game is hard.
Left, right. Come on, y'all. Y'all know the code. Come on. Up, down, left, right. Come on. But no, I'm really hoping the code works. But I mean, it's gonna be cool. I mean, just the sound at the end just brought back the memories, of me dying sometimes.
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot when they just remake old games
all the time. Just
modern retro is the new thing right now.
It is. It does seem to be. That's interesting. Same as a gamer, I grew up through the 2600, the Intellivision, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the whole gamut. I've watched the whole home console thing happen. And I've always been about moving on to bigger, badder, better. You know what I mean? I never pined for, I really wish I could play those old Intellivision games. Like it was never a thing for me. So it's been interesting in the last, say, 15 years or so to see retro gaming and very basic 8-bit gaming or inspired by side-scrolling platformers gaming really being as popular in the indie scene as it is. So to bring it back to the iiRcade, I think that again, more choices, more options on the platform. It is a great value. I haven't bought one simply because it's been an expensive year for Adam. As I was telling Nick offline earlier today, I've got other purchases I have to pick up before this year is over that are already planned out. And squeezing in another $500 gaming cab is just not in my budget this year. But seriously considering it early next year is very much kind of in the back of my head. And this just tips me in that direction. But I'm with everybody I see in chat saying, I want Dreamcast games, I want more powerful games. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Once that happens, though, and I get one of those, trust me, I'm going to be buying all the things I've been enjoying on CoinOps X that I can play on that and buying them and playing them there. So
way with support that means a big Pat. We want your opinion because we already know that Rainwater is a iiRcade whore. So he's whatever they say he's going to go with. So let's get your opinion.
As far as our iiRcade in general, or what?
iiRcade and this particular title, would you be if you were to get an iiRcade? Would this excite you on this particular?
Well, I might get attacked here, but I am not sold yet on the look of iiRcade. I love everything else about it, but I'm not a fan of just the look of it. I wish they could get that kind of, I guess, a little bit more like an arcade that I remember. You know what I'm saying? Does that sound terrible?
Like the shape of it, or the art, or
yes,
everything?
Exactly, the shape of it.
I get that.
Sure the sound is great. The screen is bigger. The controls are good. I just don't think they nailed the look. But that's just me.
It is a modern take on the. I feel like it's missing a marquee.
Exactly.
That's what is missing to me. Like
a little more curves, maybe. I don't.
But I know there are aftermarket options right now, but it does feel like some sort of visual header on here's what you're playing right now seems to be missing from the setup. But who knows what they have planned down the road. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
You made a marquee, didn't you, for yours? Didn't you, Mad Dads?
Gene made one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's back there, but it just has. It's not going to be like show you the different games you're on there. It's just it was for the Double Dragon one. I was just trying to do something to, make everybody have so that way they won't void their warranty because I don't touch anything until it's out of warranty. That's just how it is, I'll wait till it's out of warranty. Unless I'm gonna monitor
that's smart.
Unless I'm gonna monitor something. No, like I said, that's just right on top and it just sits there and it plugs in right in there and it doesn't mess with your warranty or nothing like that. So that's why I did that. Yeah.
I saw that the guy that sold those and I didn't buy one because the shipping to Washington State was going to cost like twice the amount of the marquee itself. And I'm just
who told you to live on the other side of the
like I said, Show Me Retro is not wrong on the look because I wasn't sold on the look either. But look in Kickstarter when you do those Kickstarter things, you get a good price on it, so you go ahead and get it. But once you start looking at it, I'm just saying you gotta have it. You know how that goes, right?
No,
Everybody said
I know.
You got to have it in there.
One of those speakers.
I think,
right
I was about to say the
yeah.
speakers. That's why he did that, to have that speakers. He wanted it to hit the sound just to hit you in your.
And that makes sense.
That
makes sense. Like I see why the speakers are there. Yeah, like the rest of the cab, I don't mind. It just strikes me as I can see like if they put a cowl over it, the way most arcades have to block out light, and put a lit marquee or an LCD or something like that. But again, we're talking about things that drive the price up, and these are all like nice to have, not needed to have. Yeah. I appreciate what they're doing with the platform more than anything else.
I will say this, John, here's the community. I'm sure that maybe in the future there will be an add-on, like a topper or something of that nature, that will look more aligned with, because the one thing about it is that though the third-party options are nice, the level of quality that John goes into his product, I don't think it's up to that level of quality. And one thing, like you may not like the style of it, but if you've seen that in person, the quality, it just screams out quality. Well, like that artwork on there it looks like it's butter. It's so smooth.
And Brad makes a good point. You buy a game to play it, and I know I'm sure it plays really well. That's the most important thing. But I just wish they could just get a little bit closer. Yeah, you would want it to look good. I mean, it's like speakers. You want speakers. If they look like ass, they could sound awesome, but you want them to look nice as well. But I think Arcade 1-Up is Arcade 1-Up is kind of the opposite, where they've kind of nailed the look right lately, but they're still behind on the other parts. They got the smaller screen, they got the worse controls. So it's kind of a balance act, and I just wish iiRcade could maybe just come a little bit closer on the look, and I'd be all in.
Well, that's one of the things that they did do. I'm sorry, let me just.
Yep, go ahead. Go.
With this,
don't worry.
Is that they did do one thing? They listened to the fans and said, we want different options in terms of artwork. And like if you see the Retromania one, that looks very reminiscent of what the WrestleFest would be. So that's probably the cabinet that most looks like an actual unit. Again, missing the marquee, but just imagine those things being added on in the near future. Like I said, it doesn't do it justice until you really have it in your hand.
So apparently we're firing Zohar from the chat now.
Someone have a wrench, kick him out. No,
hey, listen,
Zohar,
did you really cancel your order?
$100
It's his dollars, and if he doesn't see that,
I'm just teasing. Yeah, hey, there's $500 is no small amount of money. Even when you're well off, you got flush pockets. $500 is a lot of money.
Zohar, in the chat, you got to let us know why did you make that? Why did you cancel? We're not here to criticize you or anything like that, but maybe you can shed some light on maybe someone else trying to make a purchase.
Oh, he went and looked at the game store online, saw the pricing, and was like, oh, these games are like 10, 12, $15, and then started to cry, so he canceled it.
Well, the publishers,
I tell you what, that's the thing. When you look at it from the perspective, you say, okay, this is what I get for my money versus, let's say, compared to an arcade 1-up, it sounds like amazing value. But real quick, you'll learn that you need this game and this game and this game and this game and this game. It does add up. Pretty soon, it adds up. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. No, all right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
But it's just like buying a PS5 or a Xbox, right?
It's like the ALP. I still don't own all the pinball tables for two reasons. That thing cost me $700 to show up at my door. And then I didn't get the bundle with everything included. It wasn't available when I pre-ordered, and they're $50 a whack, and I'm perfectly happy to pay them what they're asking to put the tables on but 20 games in a whack is a lot of games. So instead of buying everything all at once, I bought one. And after a couple of weeks, I was like, all right, I feel like I've got the feel for these tables. I'm getting a little bored. I'm going to buy another pack. Then the deluxe tables came out, so I bought those. And then the Taito tables came out, so I bought those. I still have 2 packs to buy. And I will get there, but it's me having to dig in and throw out another $100. It's $100 to throw on the table, and there's no rush. They're not going anywhere. So,
especially the big difference in terms of playing a pinball table, it takes weeks and maybe even a month.
A lot of time, a lot of practice
to really master it and play throughout all the objectives. So there is no rush. Like I have games that I haven't even touched on that machine. Let alone anything that's on OTG.
This is why I am generally like almost a decade behind sometimes. I'm playing games on my Xbox. Like I literally just finished the Dead Space trilogy. And a week later they announced they're rebooting the Dead Space trilogy. I'm like, did I really take that long to get through 3? Really? Come on, guys. And I'm just starting The Witcher 3 right now.
Wow, that's a good game, though. That's a good game.
It is.
Witcher 3.
But
Witcher 3 is a
but
good game.
I wait till they're on sale. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of these things take so long to finish that, or there's just so much content out there that I don't have to buy it when it's new. Because by the time I'm actually ready for it, they're usually pretty cheap. Is generally what happens. So
sometimes with the iiRcade, you don't have to buy. You can buy just the base. I mean, not the base, but you can buy just the just the bar top at the first, right now, and then you can always buy the other one later on if you're thinking about, not having to try to spend so much money.
Everyone's standard of what games are the must buys varies from player to player, and there are a lot of great games. I'm like, I would probably try that. I would probably try that. I would probably try that. But there aren't a lot of. I absolutely got to play that again, or I absolutely need to be able to play that. I'm not there yet, but they're getting there, and that's what's been so impressive to watch from sort of a remote observer's view on what's going on with Jong and iiRcade. So
what do you guys think about? I mean, this Contra game. This is Konami, right? So what do you think the chances are they're even going to get that? I mean, if they got Konami games, that's huge. Like there's
that'll be.
I think we're in a
possible.
dream world here. I
think it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility. You got to remember that Konami is not what Konami was. They're not, definitely throwing out a lot of current
titles.
They're holding on to their old IP, and they're trying to do a lot of remakes, and they're getting other publishers. I mean, other people to do that. So I think that they're open to it. But again, we got to get the user base up before that can even be a possibility. Be quite honest with you. But those are the type of titles that I want to see. These retro modern games that kind of push the limits of the power of the iiRcade.
I mean, that's the beauty about this. Do you guys want scan lines?
Let Glenn, my man Mad Dads, he had a point. Go ahead.
No, but that's the beauty about iiRcade, though, because I mean, like I said, I bought it because I already knew I wanted modern games, and we always say this all the time: you buy something because you're probably going to end up. It might not get played as much when you buy it. So the iiRcade for me is going to be those modern games that I see that I want on that platform, and then go ahead and buy it. So I can buy whatever I wanted to buy on that. I don't have to, go in there and be like, oh, I have this stupid game on here and I don't want it. I can buy whatever I want to buy, and it's going to be a game that I'm actually going to be playing later on instead of like trying to go through every single, the game that I didn't want. But on this one, you can actually just buy the ones you want. After the 11 games they give you, you can just buy whatever you want to buy on that cabinet. So, like I said, when you got coin ops and stuff like that, you got it. Unless you take them all off, you're gonna have to go through all those things and put them in your favorites or whatever it is, and then go through there and try to do it. But other than that,
kind of like my coin ops X on my AOP right now. Well, hang on, everybody, just find the favorites list.
Everybody knows about the the UI and all that stuff. You got to change. That has to be changed here pretty soon. Later down the road. They got
That's a good point though. You don't.
Yes.
You don't have to buy every iiRcade game
unless it's you.
No, there's one guy, Gene, another Gene that he literally bought every single game. Like I think the only one he doesn't have is Tank. No, I got about 60 games on it, but yeah.
Listen,
I'm looking at the store right now.
From the grapevine that John sends you a personal link, and you get the game before anybody else. That's not true.
No. I did get retro.
Let's bring in some dollars so you can buy some more games. This is Rainwater's his sponsor. So
can't wait to see this.
No.
Let's see what's going on.
There's one person nobody can resist, and that's a baby. So love made Baby Soft with the innocent scent of a cuddly, clean baby that grew up very sexy, informing bath, body lotion, body powder, and body mist. So innocent it may well be the sexiest fragrance around. Loves Baby Soft because innocence is sexier than you think. For your baby at Christmas.
Yes. So that's going to help him get some money. So definitely, if you haven't purchased any of these products before, help Rainwater, and then what's that, Baby Soft, Baby Love. So there you go. So with that being said, let's get off iiRcade. Again, congratulations, John, for bringing that title. Let's get some modern games in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice job. Keep up the great work. Keep growing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes. And
I'm paying attention. I'll get there eventually.
That's all that matters. And with that being said, I want to do a State of the Union, and let's talk about this. Right. So it's been a trying time. I want to bring up some documents here because Rainwater has been doing some reporting for us. He's been on the scene, and so we want to talk about this particular timeline and what the beautiful work that iiRcade, Arcade 1UP has been doing with their most recent cabinet that they've been announced.
Great job.
Did they announce it?
I don't. They announced it, didn't announce it, whatever. Let's bring this up. So can you talk to us about that?
Oh, well, it starts out on the left there. The Simpsons cat was hinted, and then they went on the One Up Weekly and said that they don't have the license, and then Randy Records leaked it out. That crazy Randy guy, and then P-Dub made a video about it. Then he retracted his video. He took that down. Then they released the promo video. That was pretty cool. And then they're just like, no, this doesn't exist at all. And we're like, what? And then we're like, okay. Then they sent an email out confirming it. And then they claimed, well, we can't confirm bowling, right? And then they announced it again. And then they actually, then once again, they're like, no, just kidding. It doesn't exist. You guys are all crazy. What are you talking about? We're all like, what? Like, is this some kind of Mandela effect thing? And then they posted it on their website. They just flat out posted. We're like, okay, well, it's on the website. But then they're like, well, and they took the bowling down. So it's not on the website anymore. Okay, that's where we're at now. Okay, you are here. All right, that's where we got to.
Yep. And then, how long did this take, Jeff, to make this?
This has been going on for like 6 or 7 months.
He's been on the scene.
No.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make that timeline? My God.
I did this during
really
MCAP's
detailed.
show yesterday. So, okay, Springfield is good. So this is what's going to happen next, guys. Springfield is going to have a nuclear meltdown. And then Arcade 1UP is going to announce the second game on the Cap's actually going to be Trackball Pac-Man.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Nice.
And then last but not least, somebody is going to spot this at Costco.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen.
I believe so. And listen, so
with no bat tops.
With that being said,
with little basketballs on it. Yeah.
I want to bring up some people that are very close to what Arcade 1UP has done. This is they're kind of fall in line with this. All right, so let's bring up this video. So our Arcade 1UP, the guy who's doing their site probably needs to be on this list, because I just don't understand how you possibly can mess this up not once but twice, like
repeatedly,
like 8 times.
There is serious breakdown in internal communications going on at that company.
Yeah.
No, I work for a smaller startup, and they have grown over the years. And one of the things I have watched is when internal communication breaks down. And my company's gotten very good about it over the last few years, but I have seen it happen. And that is exactly what is going. Like, internally, there is some nonsense going on over there.
See, I don't understand, because when T2 League came out, right? I felt like this is their chance to turn the corner and get people back on their side. Like, okay, I may not be super excited about some of the the flaws that they have on it, but it's a title that I want. And there's a lot of people that may have said, I'm done with Arcade 1UP, but they saw that title and said, I'll buy that. And so you're saying, okay, they're turning the corner. And then they do this again. Like, this is how I felt. Everybody felt when they saw that it said Simpsons Bowling, and then it disappeared. And then they came back.
I didn't understand what's so difficult about once a month have a little Zoom meeting with everyone in the I don't know how many people are in their company, but
this
all
is the problem.
And just be like, okay, On this day, we're going to announce this cabinet. This day, we're going to put it on our web. Like, it's a 20-minute meeting once a month, guys. Like,
the problem is that they don't do anything in house. They really don't. They have a marketing firm. They got people who do their QA.
They're outsourcing.
Everything's
outsourced and contracted, and that that makes them lose quality control.
Yes,
we've been through this. You know, I've been through this at work at other jobs.
You got the CEO saying one thing. You have representatives saying one thing. You got the customer service saying another thing. You know, this is how I felt when this came out.
What do you think the chances are of a guy like you and a girl like me ending up together?
Well, Lloyd, that's difficult to say, and we really don't...
Hit me with it. Just give it to me straight. I came a long way just to see you married. Just least you can do is level with me. What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1 million.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
So no, that's how I feel. Like, oh, you tell me the title's there, so I'm like, yes, and then this happens,
and then you see these stupid crappy guns that you got to hold up in front of a 15-inch screen. I'm exaggerating; it's 17, but
still, like, there's
always falling short.
There's people, you either get the game right, you mess up the design, you get the design right, the game's not right. Like, when are we gonna get everything just perfect?
Well, and then you got these like Canadian retailers that are posting stuff up.
Well,
and they're not even announced yet.
That's them.
Okay, but no. So here's the funny thing. So they post this stuff up on these Canadian websites talking about Terminator 2 and all this, and everybody's making all these assumptions about you pick up the guns and blah 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 blah. But then John D. Our good friend Zohar, who apparently hates our show now and everything about it, he goes off on a rant right about it's got this and got this. And John D responds to him, and in fact he mentioned this to me. He goes, that T2 rant I found especially entertaining. No details are out, but assumptions, and he's got a good point. They've never announced anything. Like, this was just some assumptions people are making off of a leak. But like, to your point, they need to have a little bit of control over this. They shouldn't be having leaks like this unless they're intending.
Listen, I think this is,
I don't rule that out either.
This is all planned. What we're talking about right now is Arcade One Up, free publicity. They're not paying anybody for this. All the YouTubers ran with this. So
Pat, do you think this is all planned? Do you think?
I don't. I didn't run it, and here's why. And am I the only one that really doesn't trust these leaks? Like, does anyone remember the Silver Strike bowling? Where's that at? Remember the Silver Strike and the Golden Tee that was at the CES that one year?
That was at their booth too.
Wait, that was a physical thing. Rexer Show saw it. I mean, so where is Universal Pinball? I don't know if we can take this as fact.
Show me retro.
That's a very good. That's a very good.
Call me a skeptic, but I just don't know if I can believe this.
Listen, I bet you anything that this is coming out. This is coming out. Listen, the reason.
But when? What? 3 years from now? 5 years?
This year. This year.
Oh, you're saying all these leaks will be announced and pre-ordered by the end of the year? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Nick. Nick, you're saying T2. T2 specifically.
Definitely coming out.
Gotcha.
You cannot tell me that all this bad news was going on with Arcade One Up, and then this just miraculously just came out of nowhere.
So they had recoil technology. They had recoil technology, but they didn't want to put it in the Buck Hunter. What's up with that?
Does Buck Hunter win? I'm not a Buck Hunter player, so I don't know. Does that have that technology in the actual arcade?
I don't know, but why not put it in Outrun? I just don't. I don't really understand. Maybe
it was to to offset the price cost. Like, it's going to be an expensive cabinet. Maybe they said, listen, we got to give them at least this. I mean, you're not getting them much with this cabinet. Probably 2 games. Yeah. We don't even know what the second game is. And you're asking about $675 for US dollars.
I hope you all are going to enjoy playing Tempest on your Simpsons cab. Because that's where that's
already determined. It's a trackball.
Oh, it's not Centipede? Oh, okay, my bad.
Centipede, yeah, or it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that. And I don't think they have completely locked down the license to the bowling game. That's why they keep playing these fucking games with. Pardon my French. I apologize. They keep playing these games with. It's announced. It's not announced. Yes, bowling. No, it's not there. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm glad I don't care about Simpsons enough to be remotely wrapped up in this emotionally. That's all. That's where I'm at on this, because I'm like, Tron, you're gonna mess it up. I'm still gonna end up buying it. Doesn't matter, and then I'm out because I'm not collecting cabs. I wanted to buy the Star Wars cab behind me because I loved the Star Wars cab when I was a kid growing up in arcades. Same thing with Tron. I'll buy that. And those are the only 2 cabs from my childhood that I'm like, oh, I wish I had access to that on a regular basis. Everything else can go fly out the window.
Everybody knows what cabs I want. So
everybody has that one title that says, you know what? Whether or not, I don't care what the price is too much. If they do it right, I'm going to get it. For me, is the Mortal Kombat, the first one. Yeah. If they came out with that.
Pat makes really good points, though. Like, this may never see the light of day, guys. Like, you're still waiting on Dragon's Lair, and it may be 2 years before you see that materialize, if at all.
I think iiRcade probably, put a little damper on that. First off, and secondly, maybe that we tend to put too much value in something when it's maybe that the hunger for that is not as big as people thought.
I think everybody, I think everybody has their own cab, but you got to remember when this stuff first came out, we didn't really care what cab it was.
We just wanted
and bought the cab.
It was just cool. Oh my god, I got an arcade machine in my house.
I didn't care. Yeah. I was buying everything, Final Fight, Mortal Kombat. I was just to have that in the home. Yeah. And now, since all this other stuff is out, we're kind of calming down now. Now we're like, okay, now we're being selective.
Now I got to start being a little more choosy about what I bring into the home.
If it was $400, $500, we were buying.
Okay, so what do you think about this? Like, if they had something that they were negotiating, let's say $100,000 for the Simpsons bowling license or something, and then they haven't finalized the paperwork yet, and they come out with a promo video of these people like playing with the trackball on there, and then they go, oh, that's a cool trackball that you're showing in your promo video. Maybe we want 150,000 now instead of 100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they're screwed up.
Maybe, but again, it is so unusual because again, I see and hear a lot more about licensing more like in the toy scene. So I'm not as familiar with what's going on. It's
got to be something similar.
I know what it is.
You normally don't go announcing. You don't even hint. You don't innuendo. You don't say boo until that paperwork is signed, locked, and loaded.
Weird.
You know what it is? It's you know how I am on the technical side. Go ahead and put the nerd up or whatever. But I'm just saying. So I think it's the.
I am ready with that button, buddy.
I told him he had it. But y'all know that if you look at the Simpsons game, right, and then you look at Simpsons bowling, it's totally different. So they're going to have to do, just the processing power in that chip. In that board. And I think that's what they're having a problem with is the processing power in that board, to tell you the truth, to even play that, to even play that game, because Simpsons, that's going to be easy. That's just a regular old, what is it? I don't know the chips that they use or something, but it's just going to be
trying to get by with the bare minimum that they can do. Like,
you know what I mean? Bowling, you're going to have to play that. I haven't really even seen that played on.
I think they
even play that on the. I don't even think I played it on the 4 yet, like the Raspberry Pi 4 yet.
To be honest with you,
I
probably think that they already have the license, but they're probably still having issues with emulating it. So they probably,
which is what Gene was saying.
They're probably going to have to say it's going to come out on an update. It probably won't come out during launch.
Oh, well, that's
You
going to
got-
go over so well
So
with
they're
the
gonna put
community.
so they're gonna put
Listen.
Centipede in there. Okay, got it. That's what
They're probably gonna have to give us another Konami game. They're probably gonna have to give us another Konami game,
Yeah.
and then say, "Here in the update, we worked out the kinks. Here you go." I want to
Just put
say
Sunset
that
Riders in there.
that's
Put Sunset Riders
Hey, I
on there.
love that's
what would
a
hurt?
good game, man. I'm glad you recommend. That's a really good game. I don't know if y'all played that, but
But
See, that might be a licensing problem because they might say you
Disney-
can put
Disney
Simpsons
probably
on there,
saying,
but
"I don't
it
want
has to be
something that
only
violent."
Simpsons games.
or anything that violent, because you got to.
We don't want
Disney
cows
owns-
with shotguns on the
owns it.
cabinet that's themed for our Simpsons. You know, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, who knows? And I also don't rule out what Nick is saying either, that they saw, as we've seen other YouTubers like Retro Ralph and those guys over there saying that, it doesn't feel like they care very much about the hardcore. They're throwing all their eggs into the general public basket in mass sales. And I kind of agree with that notion. But they still want you all buying their cabs. And so I do think T2 is legitimately going to come out. I think that cab is definitely on its way. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it is a bone to the community because it was ready to go. Or it was so close to ready to go. They're confident they
Show
can
me
have it
Retro.
out.
Why do you think they're not coming out?
But a lot of this other
Because
stuff,
they've done this
Tron, I'm
before.
not convinced is coming. I'm not convinced, obviously, there's, like Pat was saying, there was a new Golden Cab they showed. There was what was the other one they showed that never materialized? Like, it's not
it was
uncalled
Universal
for
Pinball,
them.
the Back to the Future pinball.
They do it all the time. They change their mind because of whatever reasons, lack of interest or whatever. So.
Well, what about House of the Dead? Why wouldn't you do a House of the Dead 1, 2, and 3? To me,
You're right,
it makes more
yeah.
sense to have
I
3
agree.
games versus 1, and the guns can be pulled out like they're supposed to be pulled out. That's to me makes more sense. But
I think they just I think they don't want to do that because again, I don't think their focus was ever us, like the older crowd. It was the younger crowd. So
And I really doubt Walmart's not going to carry a House of the Dead.
Probably, you know. So they always look like Simpsons. You already know they're going to carry.
T2
You know,
is a
something like
popular
that.
IP.
Yeah, and then
It's a
Terminator
huge
2 is not really like, it didn't have that much
cult
in it.
following. It has a cult following.
know?
It doesn't resonate through the culture the way Simpsons does.
Yeah, but I mean, I know they have Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, but you know how that was. But I'm thinking it's just like the House of the Dead.
Just
I'm
to
not
let you
sure.
know,
I love that cat. I would love that
recently,
cat.
Mortal Kombat is the highest selling fighting franchise of all time. That's
No,
one. It
is
is.
it really?
But we're looking at all
More than Street Fighter.
11. Street
Oh,
Fighter
yeah,
is
it's
not
because
even. Street Fighter is not even the third. It's in 4th place behind Tekken.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But you know what's the number 1 selling fighting game of all time? Right now.
Sailor Moon.
Definitely
No.
not.
No,
The
definitely
most
not.
recent iteration
man.
of Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, that was
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. I can see that.
Like 22 million, I think, at this point, and the behind it is a Mortal
He
Kombat
said Shaq Fu.
for 12 mil. So Mortal
That was a good
Kombat's
game, though. That
name
was a good game.
itself
I
sells
liked
a
it.
lot of units. So that's again, you give me a Mortal Kombat 1 online with
it's
number
over
one artwork.
Dylan knows what's
I'm
up.
buying that. Everybody, let's know. Let's go around the horn. What is your number 1 unit if Arcade One Up said today, boom, and you're buying it day 1? What is it? We'll start with Jim.
Mine is Killer. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say 2 because it'd be Mortal Kombat Online and then Killer Instinct as well. So there you go.
Adam, what's yours?
Oh, it's Tron. It's Tron. And I'm still convinced Arcade. They're close. Those images that we saw look real good. I was real down on it because it didn't look like they were doing black lights. And then later on, I noticed in the description information.
Richie's right. 3. My
they're
bad.
they're saying black light effect. And knowing Arcade One Up, they're clearly going through the trouble of putting a light bulb up in there, but I'm not convinced it's going to be an actual black light. So I'm going to buy it, and then I'm out, but I'm expecting to have to mod it to make it what I wanted it to be. So we'll
it'll be
see.
interesting,
But that's it. Tron is all I'm waiting for, and then unless suddenly they do an amazing job on like San Francisco Rush or Hydro Thunder, maybe they'll pull me back in. But I do not expect.
Then you can hunch over like the Outrun and play.
That's just it. I hold out more hope that At Games is going to make me a racing cab before Arcade 1UP makes me a good racing cab. So
Pat,
it's Tron, and that's it.
Pat, what's yours?
It would be Daytona USA, and I'm fine with the stand up, the sit down. The Outrun, the way they did that, I wouldn't be down for that. But if they did a really good stand up with force feedback, online play, you got my money. Up to a certain point, there's a cap on what I think I would pay. But if it's done right, I don't know, maybe $600 I'd pay. If it had online play, force feedback, all of that.
Okay, and the cheapo.
I assume you're talking to me because I'm the last one. No, I agree with the driving cab thing, but see, Daytona for me was a sit down game. So but one that is
it was cheaper. The stand up was cheaper, so that's why I played a lot of. And my arcade had both. I did a lot of one player, just because I think it was 50 cents versus $1, I think.
So the one that I would want, which was a stand-up game, would be Super Off-Road. So you remember it had the 3 different wheels.
This is nobody's game.
That's what now I don't know if that would work with the size that they're trying to do. Everybody wants, but here, what else could they put in?
Nobody
there?
wants
Super Sprint, exactly.
That would be the good combo.
I was playing that in the arcades when it was new, and I hated that game then.
You tell me you guys wouldn't like that cabinet.
Racing games did not become worthy of your attention until around Virtual Racer from Sega. That's when racing games started getting good and immersive. Before that, they're all kind of a little cringy.
Yeah,
and so I don't have. Now, some of the rally racing games that are like the overhead that are designed to use a digital joystick to make you drift around corners, I don't mind those, but I don't consider that a racing game per se. That's more of a Twitch-based response game.
You're right, Zohar, but I want both of them on one cabinet is what I'm saying.
Jeff,
one cabinet that has 3 wheels.
Why don't you just say that what you really want is Excitebike?
Oh,
I know. I could see you in Excitebike. You would do it. First of all,
don't make fun of my game, man. Don't make fun of that game, man. That was a good game back in the day. Make your own rules. Don't mess with that.
8-bit on a previous stream said, "Hang on." I think if they did a actual hang on, I mean that probably would cost too much money to actually have.
No, they'll
the
never.
Bike, but maybe just the.
Can you imagine how they would cheap out on that? Like they cheap out on all their components.
Just do the handles.
Like they give you some kind of crappy plastic 3D thing that you sit on,
and then us not so skinny nerds trying to ride on it. I could just see the videos of us breaking it.
They're all hunched over on this little bike, like.
They've got the midway
you
license.
Lean and it snaps in half.
Cruising's going to happen. Cruising USA will happen, but I would prefer to have Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona was good, man.
I want a good sit-down cabinet, not from Arcade 1UP, to be honest. I want one that is a good quality, full-size arcade cabinet that is a multi-cade. Like the Prime Racing one, it's close. It's close.
Yeah, I want a more affordable Prime Racing cab, basically.
Yeah. Time out.
I have to say one thing. If you're going to get a racing cabinet, right? Chances are, if you want it to look nice and decent, I'm sorry, I don't think that the multi-cades are going to make it look nice. I think you need to get it from Arcade 1UP. And I'm a guy who look. I got the multi-cades. They're all in the house. But if you really want it to look nice, I don't think it's going to happen.
Going to disagree with you.
Who do you think would do a good job?
I think At Games will make a nice black standard sit-down cab. It'll have a seat. It'll have a sub in there. It'll have a like a 21-inch screen. It doesn't need to have like.
It's gonna look. I'm telling you, it's gonna play nice. It's gonna have all the good hardware, but is it gonna give you that nostalgia? Like, oh man, this game. I'm excited about it.
I don't get that way over the cabs, generally speaking. And we've talked about it. Tron, Star Wars are the only cabs that I go, ooh.
How many people have room for more than one sit-down racing cab?
That's just it.
Probably not.
That's just it.
Are you going to buy a Daytona cab?
But if they do that with sit-down sub with the nice speakers in there, and then you can get crazy and you offer different kind of racing wheels that you can swap out depending on what kind of game you're into.
And it's interesting you say at games, but what about iiRcade did something like that? And we've talked about an iiRcade racer because if they make something with the quality that they make of these things, but in the racing sit-down cab,
they would make a great. But I don't think they're going to end up doing it because I don't think there are enough racing games for them to make it worth their while.
Right.
Whereas at games. We'll bring our Steam.
That game's expecting you to break the law.
Our Steam. We'll bring our Steam libraries. We'll bring our ROMs, and we will all be playing San Francisco Rush the Rock Edition,
let's
Hydro
be honest.
Thunder.
At games is like saying, okay, guys, the speed limit is 60 miles an hour, so here's a car that can go 200. Just in case,
right? Absolutely, for sure. But you know what? That's why I gave them $700 of my hard-earned money for that back there. And I didn't give that $700 to Arcade 1-Up, especially after, and I was all over the idea of getting that Attack from Mars. I love that table. It is my favorite table. But when I saw the reviews, coming around and really saw like, that is not going to hold up, especially after having gotten the pinball table from at games, was not going to make me happy flipping between those two devices, and so I skipped it.
Yeah, they might make it look. They might make it look. You got to remember with this pinball, they got the Gottlieb licenses. So guess what? They had to put that graphic on there. So
and if I want to stick stickers on it,
if they got a different license. Yeah, if they got a different license from there, then it will be. I think the graphics will look different, is what I'm saying.
I'm kind of like I've heard Gene say this, and I'm kind of in the same boat. Whenever anybody complains about the art on the ALP or complains about the backlight, when you're playing the game, you don't see the reflection on the glass. You see the table. It's just it looks that bad in photos. It's the same thing with the art on the cab. In person, I don't think the multi-cab art looks bad. And I'm generally too focused. I'm playing the goddamn game to care what the sticker on the side of the cab looks like. I'm just overjoyed I can play pinball in the proper format in my home now. And
let's be honest, we all have multiple cabs. If you get one that's not the prettiest side art, you just don't put that one on the end. You squeeze it between the good looking.
Very good point.
I'm going to be the only one that's going to go against this.
No, you
more
can't.
times than not, I'm looking at the cabinet than actually playing it.
You just Nick just comes home every day and he
fair enough.
I don't have time.
Hold on.
I'm gonna have something that's gonna look pretty. I'm not.
Nick,
damn, that thing is ugly.
You don't even look at the side, or you look at the black.
They're not even plugged
in. You look
in.
at the back box now.
Yeah.
That's what. This is true. Okay, he was looking down at night.
This is true. I'm just saying.
It looks good.
I'm vain, so I apologize.
Well, Michael B has said the same thing. How he likes to just kind of go into his arcade and take in the. I get that, dude. I stand there and sit stone staring at my toys in my display case and adjusting and posing them.
And now you got all those He-Man toys coming. What are you gonna?
And I have all the He-Man toys to mix in. So but I can appreciate that. But for me, it's been more about just being able to play and having access.
Everybody has their own thing. Like again, my father said the difference between a man and a boy, price of his toys.
For sure, very true.
This is true. I mean, look the bit pixel.
Yep.
The only reason I got it because it looks pretty when I turn it on. I like to see the marquees. I'm not looking at that shit when I'm playing. Who can? And the back box. You can't if you're paying pinball, you're not looking at that back box. But it's more so for everybody who's around me.
I gotta show this chat. I gotta show this chat from Ralph. Retro Ralph It's impossible to not feel like a tool playing the 3/4 outrun.
That's just it. Like that.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Ralph. Yes, thank you, Ralph. Those are
I've
not
seen pictures of grown men hunched over.
grown, heavy-set, dad-bod men trying to sit in a 3/4 racing cab that wasn't comfortable to begin with, even for someone who's 3 feet tall. You know.
Yeah, and they're like, ah, and their wife is standing over in the corner going.
Pat, you've been real quiet.
Well, that's why you don't buy it. I mean, you buy whatever you like. You don't buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't buy. Just
But you know,
every
usually,
single cabin,
but
you know?
usually the loudest complainers in sort of the general group, you know, on social media, I see sometimes in chat. Generally, the loudest complainers are the ones who are buying it all anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are the ones who don't have sort of self-restraint.
And Ralph got the Prime Racing one, and I saw his video about that, and I'm sure he didn't pay full price for it. I think he got a deal on it or something, but he did a review on it, and he was like, I really wanted this to be good, but there's just a few flaws that just made it not worth it for him. And I think he got
Ralph
rid of it,
also
but,
did he did a proof of concept with Daytona Auto Arcade 1-Up, which is one of the videos that I remember fondly. It was like he put a wheel in there and he was running up. I don't know if he was running a PC running Daytona, but that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to wrap up Arcade 1-Up, as usual, they're messing everything up. We're all going to buy it anyway, and we're going to complain about it the entire time.
Listen, they're gonna another leak is going to come out, and we're all going to say that shit looks gorgeous. I want it, and they'll mess it up, like you said. So I mean,
especially if you see it in Walmart, though. You know what I mean? Like,
listen,
if you see it in there and you look at it, you're gonna be like,
dude, if you run across it in person, and even more so when these things are like, it's $200 when it was $500, I get being tempted by that. I really, really do. The thing is, after you have 5 or 6 of them, you have to stop doing.
You got to be selective. You got to start being selective. So with that being said, is Arcade 1-Up going down, or are they still the top dog?
I don't think they're the top dog by any stretch of the imagination from an educated consumer's point of view. They will continue to do very well for themselves in the general big box stores. There's no doubt about that. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But does do us as educated consumers think they're... Please.
But we're dropping.
Yeah, we only less. We're probably like 5-10% or something like that. 20.
So I understood. That's why I said they're good. Are they top dog though? I guess in sheer volume, but you know, I'm not buying an Arcade 1-Up product knowing that if I have an issue with it, they're going to give it great customer service and getting it taken care of. It's quite the opposite. You're just praying to God you don't get one with the hole knocked into the side of the panel. You know what I mean? So,
Pat, I want to hear Pat's thoughts, because I know where he's going, but I want to hear what he has to say.
As far as what with 1-Up?
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't bought a cab from them in over a year. So, and I left a comment on your video. They're kind of on my shit list, but. I don't know. They got to win me back. They're going to have to. All these leaks. I mean, how many companies do you know that have this kind of leaks like they do? I mean, I don't have any faith in them anymore. I don't trust them. I don't. I'm sorry. You know, if you wanted me to come on and just say I love these guys, right now they're kind of downhill. At Games is really, to me, is just so much more putting out a product that's for me. So that's kind of where my vote is right now. But
I agree with Pat 100%. Do not disagree with the fine man.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm not going to buy one in the future. I'm never going to say never. But for right now, I'm in a holding pattern with them.
What do they need to do? What do they need to do to change to shift that? Right? Is it they need to bring the prices down? Is it do they need better quality?
If you're gonna leave that price, you got to bring the quality up. That's one.
I think
exactly like
quality.
Nick,
communication.
You said in the video, if you're gonna have that price, you got to give us that bigger screen. You got to give it better control. You got to give us something, and don't throw in that stool and think that we're okay. But your video on saying those higher prices really nailed it.
$200
yes,
sign.
Preach, man, preach, brother. You know,
no one wants your stools. Period.
I want the Tron stool. I really want the Tron.
No,
that's because you're a
the
sucker.
Tron stool will never get built. It
Oh
will never get built.
Tony said he's going to order the Tron. And he's going to give me the stool.
Mad Dads, you were one of the first adapters of the arcade one up, so I want to hear your thoughts or where you stand at now.
Like I'm as you already know, I pre-ordered the Big Blue, and that's really the last I guess you could say the cabinet that I'm just gonna tell you the truth. The only arcade one up I have now is, as you can see, the little counter cave right there, and then the MK Legacy cabinet. That's the only two I have now. Because of all that other stuff, like the games started putting the games on other stuff, like the Street Fighter and all that. So, like Big Blue for me is the only reason why I bought that cabinet is because it's online play, and I know most of the people in the chat and people that I know is gonna buy that game because you can actually play it online. And that's really the only reason why I bought that cabinet. Just like when I bought the Marvel versus Capcom cabinet. That one, the same thing. I bought that because it was online. Then I got my butt whooped, and then you know what I mean? I said, I'm out of there. You know what I mean? I'll get something else. But I'll wait for Killer Instinct, stuff like that. I was going to wait for that. But like I said, you can hate on Arcade 1-Up all you want. Okay, anybody can hate on them, but they started everything. That's how all these other people started coming out with the newer stuff. You know how it is when somebody makes it, and then just like I'm gonna just use the game. Not Battlegrounds, but was it Battlegrounds? Yeah, Battlegrounds. Remember that when Battlegrounds came out, everybody was playing that, and then next thing you know, Apex and the new other stuff started coming out, and
the
then
new flavor of the month. Everyone moves. Everyone moves on to the new hot thing.
Yeah, new thing, and then everybody started doing it, and that's it. That's all.
I still can't believe that they can't come up with a way. Like, have you ever gone to buy like a computer or something online, and you'll buy it, and they give you an option? Do you want this much RAM, or you can get $15 more? You'll get this much RAM. Do you want this size monitor, or a little bit different monitor that's a little bit better for this much more? And they give you the options. Why can't Arcade 1-Up do that on their website? I'm not saying do it on Walmart or whatever.
Yeah,
have a bundle deal over there. I get that, and maybe
have
that
a channel specifically for the hardcore.
Right. Let us go in there and cherry pick.
If
I want the stool, I'll add that on as the add-on. If I want the stupid tin sign, I can add that on. If I want an extra game on it or what. But now, I mean,
why doesn't iiRcade do that? Because to keep the prices down and to streamline everything, you need the least amount of SKUs. So you're not going to be able to do that. Now, I grant it. Maybe not give us the no frills, or give us the bundle pack.
But how hard is it to put the stool in
a
separate box? That's its own SKU. It's like, how hard is this? You have, the base unit, and then maybe you've got two different screen options. They're in separate boxes, right? You got a stool. It's in a separate box, right? I mean, you're adding these things in. It's not as hard as you'd think. Like I don't know.
The theory I came up with is that they're hating, man. They're hating on these.
They just hate us.
I'm just saying they're hating on these. You can say the vendors. They're hating on the vendors. They're making the most money off of basically Arcade 1-Up than they are themselves. You know what I mean? Because once they sell something, the vendors graphics, they got all that other stuff. So if you think about it, it's like they're hating on them, kind of stopping making stuff, putting more games and stuff, putting this and stuff, so that stuff won't be needed. Like online. You're not going to really get rid of that cabinet if it's an online cabinet. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, that's what I started thinking. I was like, man, maybe they're hating on them and not us. They're kind of hating on them because they see how much money they're making in the background. You know what
I think it comes down to they have a certain threshold. They want to make a certain, amount of profit, and they have to hit that. So no matter what, there's like, okay, we will throw this in there so we can get our profit to where we would like it to be. And sadly, we're the ones that are paying for it.
Brad O'Connell's sort of right here. In a way, iiRcade is sort of doing that. You get their base model. Do you want to get the stand? That's extra. You pick the artwork that you want. If you want the glass, you buy that separately. That's extra. You pick the games that you want. You buy those separately. So you building your experience of what you want. these arcade 1-ups, it's like, well, I'm gonna get the bundle that they're offering me, and then I'll just talk to Angel and get a marquee that I want, and I'll talk to Glenn and get a spinner put on it. And I mean,
the iiRcade graphics though, they have to be paying a lot for that. I think that's some of the price.
Oh yeah,
that's some of the price. You can
probably
run into that, or you can do whatever you want to that thing, and I'm telling you, it's like clean, like. It won't mess up. It's just there. It's been there ever since I bought the
you're paying for the quality on that. And everybody.
But you guys are saying, so if their communication was better, if their quality was better, and their price was more reasonable, we would all be singing different tune today.
Yes,
right?
I
Those are the three big things, right?
I agree with that.
Quality, communication, the price point.
Yeah.
So basically, like an Alienware where you can actually go in there and pick what you want in your cab.
Yeah, configure like a configurator on the site. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This year, that's an interesting idea. This year we're offering Dragon's Lair, Killer Instinct, and X, Y, and Z, whatever other cabs. You can configure the following add-on games to, and they'll give you a set of options. That would be an interesting idea, but no, I don't think they'll ever go down that route. I don't
think so either. I don't think so either. So I mean, listen, we beat this.
Well, we have beat this into the ground.
We definitely listen. Let's say this. Unless another leak comes out, let's make sure that.
I have officially said all I ever want to say about Arcade 1-Up publicly. Thank you. Good night.
So I want to ask, what do you guys think of? You guys heard about the Unico thing with the screen?
Yes, Ralph. It was Retro Ralph who kind of hit me. That was coming, and then I saw it everywhere else. Yeah,
that's a big boy. That's a big boy.
I think
there's two different sizes. That's the big
interesting.
One, I think.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, and I think that's gonna be a very popular item in the home arcade collecting unit.
Definitely. I mean, for people like Mad Dads who mods everything, like he had an arcade 1-up, the Legacy cabinet. Before he put it together, he already put in a 20-inch screen in it. So this is probably a unit for him, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what about are these meant for like regular arcades where you can just take out that CRT?
I believe that
work,
was the impression that these were meant as a CRT.
I've got a couple in my garage that I'm thinking,
yeah, that's what it's meant for. I mean, CRTs are really going away the way of a dinosaur. Like that is, people cannot manufacture those. They're
dying breed.
Dangerous,
very
heavy.
Yeah. So this is a great solution to keep those cabs up and running. And I think this has been sorely needed in that space for sure.
This might help me get my RAS stand and my sidearms up and running.
There you go. Exactly.
I'm ready to go. I got about an inch worth of dust inside those things.
And that's really smart of Unico to do this because it's not competing with everybody else for the same market share. It's really very smart.
It's cool because you're not only dealing with people with the actual units, you actually have people who want to mod their arcade 1-ups or do their own units like the DIY kits. You have a bunch of different markets that you're touching.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So Ralph is saying it'll mount on the same stock CRT chassis. So you keep the same chassis in there, it just slides right in. That's cool.
And all generations of arcade 1-up.
That's brilliant. Wow. So I thought, so the one was it 19? I thought it was like a 20-inch or what, but you could put that in an arcade 1-up then and upgrade your arcade 1-up screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's touching everybody's. He said it's a 21.5, but it still fits in a because it's basically almost bezel.
Because no bezel. Yeah. Oh wow! So you're going from a 17 to 21.5 in. Oh, that might be worth upgrading. I mean, you're not running CRTs on arcade 1-ups anyway, so it's not like you're missing out.
Yeah.
Now the connections are all. These things are meant to have all the connectors you need to go straight from a PCB or straight from whatever. I mean, that's the big thing, right? It just makes it super easy for idiots like me that I can't mod more than jack.
This is arcade for dummies 101 for you.
There you go.
Thank you.
I mean, and I'm gonna be
What I
right
need.
there too. Listen, do you, any kind of modding? I say, Mad Dads, can you help me out, or someone else? It's not gonna be me. I needed stock. Stock. I'll buy some of the or I'll get someone like Bobby to build me a back box. But if you asking me, I only know how to put the gas in the car, and that's it. Right?
Kind of
Even
with you on
then,
that.
sometimes
You know
Kind of
you know
with you
what's
on
up.
that.
Yeah.
Don't hate on yourself like that, bro. You know that. What's up?
Nick bought a Tesla and they tried to put gas in it.
Then I ain't that
spent a
slow,
half
bro.
an hour at the Shell station.
Nah, bro. I read the directions. Yes. So, with that being said, let's not. We're at 122. Let's kind of put a bow on this. Pat, thank you for coming by. What do you got on the channel? What's coming up, man?
I still haven't done my ALP review, so I was waiting until I really had a chance to kind of like get this audio issue and just to really get a feel for it before I did something. So I need to put that out there. I want to break my silence on the Amico, which I swore I wasn't going to do a video on it, and I think I'm going to I'm going to make a video on why I'm not going to cover it and why I haven't covered it. But yeah, I'm back to work, so I was off for a little bit, taking a break, and so it's harder to get content out. But I'm still there. Stuff's coming. It takes time,
Can't rush perfection, buddy.
Oh shoot,
And in case somebody's living under a rock, what's your YouTube channel? Where can they find your content?
Just show me retro, and I'm very, this is just a part-time thing. I'm not even on the level even of you guys, and you put me up here, but I think I'm more down here. I just do this, if I have something to say, I try to make a video. But I'm not this one. If you want to subscribe to me and you want to see a lot of content, then don't hit the subscribe button because it's not going to happen every day. I'm not a mad little pixel. I'm not, it comes out when it comes out. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's just the way I am, and I keep it honest. I tell it like it is. If something's not cool, I'm going to say it, and so maybe that's why John D's not, in my camp or nothing like that. But
he's not coming on your show anytime soon, huh?
Yeah, I just try to keep it real. That's all.
His channel is in all our descriptions, so definitely go over there. I love your content. That's why we have you here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Adam.
Yes.
You had a YouTube channel many moons ago. I don't know. You were telling me, quite recently that that's a possibility that you might be coming back on the scene. So, what kind of stuff will they be able to see on your channel when it comes out?
So I haven't done anything content related in almost 8.5 years. I've been taking a break. I basically packed up my life, moved to the West Coast, and last few years I've just been kind of getting my feet out from under me. So I do a lot of toys and collectibles. I used to have a real interest in a lot of Japanese robot stuff. So I'm considering relaunching a new weekly toy collectible show like I used to do back in the day. Feeling it out. I still need to find a co-host because I don't want to do it talking to myself. So for now, if you want to see all the nerdy shit Adam is sharing and that makes Nick want to spend money, follow me on Twitter. Twitter is where you can follow this, AT0MXII, just like everywhere else. And it's the same thing.
Money.
If you do want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, something is going to be happening soon. It's a lot of just old stuff. Hey, go make fun. Go watch and laugh at Adam's predictions for how the new Star Wars trilogy was going to work out. Because holy cow, was I way off on that. And that video is still live. So go check that out. But yeah,
I'm
Adam
sure
12
we'll
everywhere you go.
And
I'm sure someone will be watching this that it's going to be like, that's me. I'm the toy nerd that needs to be your co-host. And there's someone watching. If that's you, get in touch with Adam if he's looking for a co-host.
Zohar said that any sideshow.
I tend to favor Hot Toys over Sideshow collectible releases, but I do buy stuff through Sideshow. It tends not to be Sideshow specific pieces, though. I buy from Sideshow because they'll let you do flex payments. So if something is going to cost, like the Thunder Tank, $500 goddamn dollars, you can pay that off over 12 months while you're waiting for it to release.
See, this is why you need to bring your show back, because people like listen, especially when you showed that vote. Was it Voltron?
It was Voltron. Yeah, it was the new Lion Voltron.
He wanted to give me $700 that I don't got. I was like, man. I was thinking about what can I not have?
Well, that's just it. I think that there's a lot in the toy scene right now, especially there is more interesting stuff out there than what you can buy at Walmart and at Target. And I think if more people knew, they would go check it out, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that really plays to the nostalgia of what this core audience's age group is. So if that kind of stuff interests you, you like nerdy stuff like that, I hang out in Nick's Discord quite often, and I'm pretty aggressive with sharing that kind of stuff when I think it's cool on social media, on Twitter. So
and the people there love it, and I love it. So thank you for always doing that. Mad Dad,
thank you for having me.
Mad Dad, what's going on? What you got coming up? What's cooking?
Really, don't really have too much. I did launch, I started doing my revisited series on the channel, doing like old games, bringing them back, on the channel, like Crash. I played Crash the other day. I had a lot of people join me on that, so I appreciate it. Yes, go ahead. But that, and then I noticed on the ALP, like on the vertical games, like the bezels is not sitting right. So I'm going to try to see if I can fit it to where I can turn the bezels, like, vertically. And that way I can have them, just set right instead of like, squeezed in like this. It'd be set right on them. So I'm going to try that. And that's really about it, man. Just chilling, but I do have one other thing. So, nobody knew about this, and I'm glad y'all stayed. None of the panel knew about it at all. So
is that what it is? A floating head?
Not that one. Not that one. But
guy.
Okay. The people that stay up in here, you know me, I always do surprise stuff. And like I said, the panel didn't even know. But I'm gonna go ahead and give away a $20 Steam.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? Gift card to somebody on the chat, like for staying here. So I'm glad if you stayed, you get a chance to win, and you got to be here to win it. So what you want to do about this, man? I'm gonna send the money. I'm gonna send the funds to you, and then you can give it up. But people that come and see us, man, all the time on the weekly show, like I said, I appreciate them coming and supporting everybody on the channel. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Coming and checking it out. Plus, again, this is why we made the channel, is to get people on like Adam and Show Me Retro. So if y'all want to come over here and get on the show with us, all you have to do is to send UAG a little tell on his his email, and then there you go. Y'all can be on the show as well. There it is down at the bottom. But I like to do surprise stuff all the time. Just $20 like that. It's just how I am. I like helping people, and that I help somebody. So there we go. So you ready? You want to do like, how about like, I was going to say,
let's go with the theme of the show. The Space Invaders. Easy one right here. Ready?
Okay.
Ready?
Go ahead.
What year did Space Invader release? That's it. First one in
there
the
you
chat.
Go. First one.
I almost blurted it out.
And like I said, they didn't know I was doing this, y'all. So I'm glad y'all stayed. And there you go. All right.
It looks like our guy here, the guy who's always that wasn't it. I had. Give me 1 second, right here. This one.
Where is it?
Right?
78, right?
Do we agree that my man?
I thought it was 77. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was 77.
I think it was on there at 78, but
it's 78.
Yeah, but it was. They were thinking about it in the 70s. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna send it over to you, man. I'll send it over to you. But congratulations and everything. You never know. You never know we were gonna do these things. Like I said, they didn't know that I was gonna do that. So
you know how to get in contact with me.
Yeah, just get in contact with him.
We'll get you that.
That's how I ended up here messing up the show tonight. I just said, Nick, I got things to say, and he said, "Come on."
That's it. That's all we're about. So for me, so wait a minute. Let's get Rainwater, super nerd. Nerd.
You know what I want to do? What you guys got to tell me if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. Do you guys want me to play this?
Yes.
And record it and make a video playing?
That would be pretty cool.
Board game. It has a one-player mode, so I can
Does it
actually
have a
just play
one-player
a
mode?
solo. Yeah,
It'd be more fun if you put the family in it or something.
maybe I can find a way to play it live with the chat. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
It's a dexterity game, so maybe not. I don't know if that would work.
What does that mean, a dexterity game?
Like
Yes, super nerd. Explain.
so
Talk through it.
like Jenga would be a dexterity game.
Gotcha,
Games that are like
gotcha.
physical things that are going on, like you're flicking
Gotcha.
something or something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
But other than that, I've been playing. Get that off there. I've been playing Tribes of Midgard.
Oh, wait a minute. This goes back on. You just earned another one of this.
And
Go ahead.
so I think it's $20 on Steam, which Rich Rodello has $20 on Steam now. So I expect you to buy Tribes of Midgard.
Do not spend your money on that junk.
And come play it with me.
Don't do it.
So
don't do it.
It's not retro. It's a brand new game, but it's
brand new garbage.
It's pretty fun. So I'm gonna put some videos out on that. I might do like some playthroughs. I'm really bad at it. I've already lost twice, so I'm gonna lose again probably.
You should do a series on what not to buy.
Yeah. You mean like this Game Boy is the gold edition.
That would be a perfect example of crap not to buy.
Listen, live through me. I will buy the junk that you should not buy. That's I think
Don't
you would
buy
do well.
this. This is garbage.
Thank you.
This is junk. You should buy this though. Definitely buy this.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, nice.
Here we go with the infomercials.
Buy that at the merch.
Remember, again, you can go to this site, use Retro 80 to get the 80% off. He doesn't normally do this, but today, because we're doing so well with the show, we're gonna do Retro 80, get the 80% off on any item at the store. Okay.
So what's going on with you, Nick? What do you got?
Nick, no, wait. Well, no, hold on, Nick. One quick shameless plug. I'm gonna be a vendor. I'm going to be a vendor at MoGameCon, and on September 18th, I'm going to be a vendor. Got to have my table. So if anybody in the St. Louis, Illinois, Iowa kind of surrounding area, come out and see me. Say hi. I'll give you a good deal on something.
Say hi for us.
Send me the info so I can.
I'll give you COVID. If you want COVID, I'll give you COVID. Whatever you want, I got it. I'll give it to you.
I'd rather not. I'll pass on the COVID. Thank you.
I'll breathe on you if you want.
New or old?
We'll shake hands. I'll slobber.
Give me the new one or the old one, man? Which one?
The new variant.
Whichever one. I got Delta. I got Delta in stock. I got Deltas in stock.
You've got lollipops that are laced with it. You just put it in your mouth.
Oh God!
Is that Delta the airplane, or what are we talking about here?
The Delta variant, baby. That's the new and improved version.
That one gives
that's the good one.
Gives you the reptile skin and everything. Yeah, it's cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate only an exclusive. So with me, guys, you know what it is.
Pinball.
We got to do here. The pinball still going on. Ends this Friday. Get in it today. Look up MCAP as the user, and the password is the UAGMCAP. We got 40 something. We're trying to get to 50. If we get to 50, we're gonna give a special prize to a random person that's participating in there. So definitely go there. It's fun. It's always fun.
Before you wrap it up,
There's two people on my channel.
Go ahead. Request to both you and Gene for your, when you play with the subscribers, Xbox, not Switch, not PS5, Xbox, Forza Horizon, Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
Okay.
Let's do those two. Let's do those two. You can get Forza Horizon for free if you have Game Pass. You got to spend $15 on Hydro Thunder. But guys, if you like the original arcade game, it is a gorgeous port and is well worth $15.
Okay.
Well, that Forza Horizon.
Those are my requests. Those are my
I made
requests.
a whole cabinet putting the Xbox in there playing that game. I didn't know you saw that. So it's pretty cool. Put it right. Well,
it would be. I think those will both be very fun games to play with the community. And if you guys play Forza Horizon, we could probably split up into two teams and compete against each other.
I think
because teams work together when you.
Well, go ahead and download that Power Rangers because that's what we're supposed to be according to UAG. That's what I mean.
What system is it on though?
It's on Xbox.
Okay, all right. I'll go take a which Power Rangers.
Power Ranger Power Grid.
Okay,
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna take a look.
it's an awesome game. We gotta listen. I'm sorry, life has been getting in the way, so we're gonna start that again.
Sometimes.
We're gonna start that again, and if I could get this guy Rainwater out of my chat, because sometimes he's in the chat causing ruckus. If we could get him out of the chat, stop causing ruckus, if we could get back into having a good time.
I was in a chat the other day. Another YouTuber said he hated me.
I mean, but you're pretty much hateable. I don't like you.
I was so hurt. I was like, this guy hates me. He flat out said, I hate you.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right?
Listen, listen. We got to admit, Rainwater, you're not a very likable guy.
I guess the two guys that are in my chat are chatting back and forth, and they're like, Jeff doesn't watch this, so he doesn't see what we're saying. Or they were asking about the game. They're asking. It's a Space Invaders game. You can get it at Target. It's $20.
Nobody wants that damn game.
Again, those two guys that are my fans over there are chatting.
In Jeff's defense, I am curious about the game too.
You're curious.
Dude's got 5,000 board games behind him, and he clearly is really into the board games. I would like to see Jeff bring more of that to the mix.
You guys want me to put some more board game content on my channel? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, man, put it to use, man.
He's like,
I'm just saying, put all that into use back there, man.
Personally, what he needs to do is collect that, put that in like Goodwill or something, and get some space for some more cabinets. That's what he needs to do.
You're such an enabler.
I should have kept my Super Mario 64 in the case to sell it for 1.5 million.
I'm trying to get one from my friend. So if anybody has one,
couldn't believe that. I wish I would have known that when I was man.
I'm asking for a friend. Well, listen, we're 138. So thank you guys for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
As always, guys, appreciate you in the chat tuning in. Let's go ahead. Let's end this right. Again, I pay money on this, so we gotta do it right.
Gotta use the fancy bumpers, man.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining, and as always, keep gaming.
Peace.
Later, nerd.
Oh, my bad.
My bad.
I thought we'll do it again.